Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Wonder Woman, part of the Last Night on Earth batch of figures with the all-new crazy designs. And this figure does a lot of things really well. Does some things terribly and some things that are pretty standard, so there's going to be a bit to talk about. It's all new sculpting as usual, so yeah, there's stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. But before we get into the review, guys, I just want to say a quick thank you to the sponsor of today's video. It's Into the AM. It's the graphic t-shirt people. They do make other things, but the t-shirts are what they're all about. Best graphic tees by far. I only wear them. They have all kinds of crazy designs. This is one of the new ones. It's kind of Halloween themed. And then we have, obviously, some of my favorites, the DJ one, and then this one's like a Shoryuken. Anyway, there's lots of colorful, fancy designs. I love them. They're the best printed shirts I've ever owned. They fit great. They have nice narrow sleeves, long torsos, true to size. Love the shirts. The reason we're talking about them today is they are having a Black Friday / Cyber Monday sale. It's from November 22nd through December 3rd. You will save money. But here's the thing. You don't need to save money to enjoy these shirts because even at their full price, they are absolutely worth it. Absolutely great value. Don't even hesitate. While they're on sale, get them. If there's anything you like, order it now. They're amazing. You're gonna regret it if you don't. And they make great gifts. So if you can get them ordered in time, might be good to give them to somebody as a gift. They're awesome shirts. I absolutely love them. It's the only thing I wear. Get compliments on them all the time. You guys keep telling me you keep ordering them and you love them too, so everybody wins here. So we're not going to talk about the bundle deals or the t-shirt club or all the stuff I normally say because you already know about that. But they are having a sale right now. So there's a link in the description. Check it out. Let me know which shirts you order, and we'll enjoy wearing some nice shirts together. This figure stands just about 19 centimeters at the top of the head. That makes it roughly about 7 3/8, maybe right around there, not counting all of the hair spikage. And at first glance, it's got really nice composition. They did a good job molding enough plastic and then painting enough things well. For instance, the Wonder Woman logo / loincloth thing. Very clean, the gold around the edges, very nice. The gold armband's nice. The corset thingy, very clean, no problems there. Good paint jobs. This is painted well enough, that's good. The only thing, well, there are two things. We'll get to the head in a second, but the only thing about the body that stands out as being a problem is this loincloth piece is a solid piece up through and including the belt. So this flesh tone here is painted loincloth, and you can see that it's not quite the same tone as the plastic there because it's painted, it's not PVC. And also, it's not quite opaque enough. There's a little bit of a blue hue to this bit of flesh in here, so that looks not great. You wouldn't notice it if you're not up close, but it is a thing. The star is painted well enough. I didn't mention that, stars. But here's the thing that bugs me a bunch is the head. The face is painted really well. The eyes are great. The tiara thingy's good. The hair is a separate piece, so that's fine. But the shaved head thing on here, what is going on? What the heck is going on? I can't find any images of her that looks like that. Or that look like that. The included artwork doesn't look like that. None of the other images I could find from that comic look like that. And even their promo images don't look like that. They have some textured stubble in there, which would have been fine for the shaved head look. But having the shaved head painted that heavily and lining up with the tiara and then going straight down, like, it's very weird. And if anybody can let me know, like, is that a thing? Because I can't find anything that would say that it's supposed to look like that, and to me it looks really bad. I'd rather it not be painted at all. It should just be a bald head. So that throws off the look of the figure a lot. Luckily the tiara kind of hides it, so it's not terrible, but it really should have been done differently. And then one other tiny thing, I know people are going to mention this. I noticed it, so I'm guessing you guys will too. We have skin tone pegs in the boots, and the reason that is because they have a mold that is for all of the pegs, probably, because you use the same plastic, so you inject it and you get a sprue with all of the different pegs in there, and so they do it all in one color. I understand that, that's fine, you're not going to make a separate mold for one peg, however, or run a separate batch of different, whatever, you get what I'm saying. So just throw some red paint on there, just a little bit. It wouldn't hurt, especially since the knee pad needs red paint also. If you look at the knee pad, it's solid gold and it cuts down into the boot for no real reason. But this is part of the strap, or whatever you want to call it, part of the shin piece. So this golden triangle right here needs to be painted red also. And that would make it look so much better, and they needed red there, so do it. Do it. You use red paint here, use that same red paint, and do it there, where it belongs, so that you don't have a big flesh tone peg and knee pads that take up a big chunk of the leg. Very lazy, very cheap, and I get what you're going to say, some of you, They're all new molds. Of course they have to cut corners in some places in order to afford that. Sure, I get that, but also, what's the point if it doesn't look good? So you have to come up with some kind of balance. To me, you're painting this anyway. Paint the pegs. What's that going to cost, an extra penny? Well, this gets painted before assembly, probably, but at some point it has to be assembled, so put another jar of paint in that line. Like, it could be done for almost no cost. It's already there, and it wouldn't be difficult. Just dab a... whatever. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so I'll leave it there. Otherwise, it is a good-looking figure, though. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I like the detail work. The proportioning is good. The legs are well sculpted. Hasbro could take a lesson from that. Every Hasbro female looks like she's made out of skin and bones, only there's no skin, only bones. And the cape is sculpted well, nice texture, nice tattering going on, that's all good. All the detail work is sculpted well. We'll get to this in a minute. Yeah, it looks good otherwise, so yeah, 8 out of 10. As far as accessories go, we get the sword, which is the flimsiest, softest PVC, it feels like, out of all the plastics, and that's kind of annoying. We do get the black display stand, and we get her collector card, which I already showed you. That's all fine. I'd like to note that the knife right here can articulate, but it is not an actual accessory. You can't remove it, so that sucks. It's also one solid color. It looks a little cheap. Last thing I want to mention, the scabbard for her sword cannot go back at all, so it has to just hang basically straight up and down, which is, it's okay, but it's going to put the hilt of the sword, let me grab it real quick, I dropped it. It's going to put the hilt of the sword, like you can't do it. So it's just wedged into her armpit, and it's not great. There could have been like some accommodation in the cape for this. Like it's already all tattered and everything, just cut a chunk out right there. So that blows, and also the scabbards they keep doing are hollow, which I understand why. It's cheaper and easier, but also it looks poopy. So don't like that. So accessory wise, 6 out of 10, you got a sword, but it's not that good. And the card and the stand don't count for much. You can unpeg this, by the way, if you want to get rid of it. So I would recommend you just do that. Can this come off too? Yep. I would just leave them both off, frankly, or just repaint this and leave it on, since it's more obvious. But the big scabbard does not look good. I'll leave them off for the rest. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, so as far as articulation goes, double ball pegs could definitely have a little bit better range, but obviously we have that hair sticking down the back, so that's going to get in the way. It works well. I'm happy with that. You're going to be able to get a lot of natural looking organic poses. It's always, to me, a good test if you can get the figure's head to lean and turn at the same time, and it looks really good compared to just turning. I like that, and it works. For the shoulders, better than horizontal. You do get that ball peg that lets them wiggle around. Does it serve much purpose? I still don't think so, but it doesn't hurt anything other than the budget. You can get horizontal, you have your full rotation other than where the cape is, and it's fairly in the way there, but that's the way it goes. No bicep swivel, just kidding, we have one. We have a bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow on a female figure. It's almost like it can be done, and that works nicely, no problems there. Good range, no issues there. Ball hinge wrists, can't go wrong with that. That's always a safe option when it's the right size like that. Perfect choice. Diaphragm joint is, I think it's a double. How much range do we get? Good amount. It leans forward more than usual. It leans back side to side, full rotation, that's fine. Lower torso is also on a ball peg. It's very difficult to get to and to move on mine, but it's on a ball peg, so you can use it. Yours might be a little easier to pose. Mine does not. It wants to fight me, and I can't quite get in there to grab it. I keep grabbing the top torso. You know what? Let's try something. Oh, it's a single ball peg. So it was shifting a little bit, but it's still just a single ball peg, so it pegs in here and then that's all your range. That should be a double ball peg. There's no reason that shouldn't be a ball peg on top. I take back what I said about it being right. That should be wrong. I mean, that is wrong. That should be a double ball peg. Having a straight peg in there doesn't make any sense. I mean, you get decent range out of it, so that's good, but you get even more range out of a double. And it has to have a connection there anyway. That should be a double. Alright, so anyway, you can see that. Let's see if we can get this to move. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be a single also. That definitely felt like a double because it was shifting the peg. I guess I was just flexing the peg. But whatever. That works out well enough down there. That's fine. It's a little bit more limited than a lot of the lower torsos, but it's not bad. And the top one does have good range, but there's no reason that's not a double. Can I put it back together now is the question without heating it. Halfway. Yes, I can. All right. So we learned something. It's a single ball peg, should definitely be a double. There's no reason for it not to be. Hips going out to the side, not all the way because of the way this is all one giant piece, but they go pretty far out to the side. That's okay. There's no looseness. I don't mind that. Going forward, again, fairly limited due to the skirt, but it's not too bad, and her cheeks don't look bad. Like a lot of the time, you get a giant gap when you have sculpted butt cheeks in a skirt and that kind of stuff. They did a good job with that, so that's fine. You do get a decent thigh swivel. I already showed you how the knee chops out a chunk of the boot. It doesn't look great up here either. Yeah, I think they probably should have made the knee out of flesh tone and painted everything gold on the top and then painted the red parts. If I had to say, but the outside parts are more important, I guess, so whatever. Ankles are on ball hinges, which are, I'd say, suitably sized. They don't look like giant gaps like some of the other figures have, and you get good range out of them, so that's good. And then you have a little tiny toe hinge, which is terrible. You get the spike sticking out of the bottom, and it's loose. So articulation on this figure could definitely be better, but it's not bad. It's one of the more useful figures from the McFarlane bunch. Torso could definitely be better, we saw in there, but it still worked well. Shoulders are fine, arms are fine, wrists are fine, hips are okay, knees are good, ankles are good. Yeah, it's a decent spread, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for a McFarlane figure. It's one of the better ones. It looks good mostly. We have a few small issues, but nothing too bad. Acceptable accessories. Yeah, I think it's one of their stronger releases, so if you're into this look for Wonder Woman, I think you'll probably enjoy it. I'm going to give it a final verdict of 8 out of 10. It's a good release. There's definitely some room for improvement, but I think if you were looking for it and you spent your money on it, you wouldn't be disappointed overall. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, you know what? Question of the day. We didn't do it. Question of the day. Is this a good look for Wonder Woman for you? What do you think? How do you feel about the mohawk and the cape and whatnot? I think it's not bad. I don't mind it. I definitely don't prefer the mohawk, but I don't think it's too bad. Alright, so there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down and let me know why in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.